Hello, howdy, folks. How are we all doing? How about them? Spoiler alert for previous games. Blues, how about them Blues, huh? My Blues are doing pretty well. I'm starting to believe this is getting dangerous. Starting to believe the Blues might be the real deal. Yeah. Anyway, Tars and Kane's up next. Tars have got a chance to fly the flag for the Aussie sides because I would say they've got a better chance than the old Rebels do tomorrow, but we'll see how things go. Hollywood's been off to bed, fair enough. A tough time for this one in Canada. Nov Mum reckons the Blues are pretty much guaranteed a home quarter final. I haven't looked at the table since the win, but that would seem possible, probable. Jack's back in the Tars. Malcolm says, good morning, mate. Morning, everyone from Scotland. How's it going? We are sitting here, what is it, 9:47 in the evening? Yeah, just been watching the Blues earlier. Big winners over the Reds. And the Drua got the win over Moana Pacifica. So, yeah, happy days. Good times for my boys. But I'm still waiting to see how things go in Europe. Admittedly, James, get ready to go to the pub for pre-drinks for the Leinster game. Yeah, that game's on at like 2 in the morning for me. So I am probably going to watch that when I wake up tomorrow. Might see if I can set the alarm a bit early to get up and watch at least part of it. But then I'm going to bed late. This game's not going to get finished till after, well, around about midnight. So anyway, Gaspar, mate, how are you doing, brother? Yeah. Still waiting for this game to kind of get underway. They always advertise it at 9:45, at least my time, but it never seems to kick off that way. But if you haven't seen it, there looks to be a bloody good crowd packing into Leichhardt Oval. Are Leinster the best northern team, Jack? Probably. They're pretty much the Irish side, man. So that's pretty tidy. Should do an all-nighter, James. I think I'm getting a bit old for that. Yeah, an all-nighter, which involves having to mind the kids the next day, doesn't sound appealing. Pre-children, I would have locked it in. Yeah. Between Leinster and Racing, those two. Can Racing actually make a final and win it, eh? That's on their list of things to do. Birdie is in South Africa, in Durban, going for the Tars by 7, eh? Is anybody back in the Canes yet? Or is everybody thinking the Tars at home with a, as I said, pretty wicked crowd to maybe get behind them? Good day, Sean, man. How are you doing? Super Rugby, man. It's been going good, actually, recent weeks. Oh, it's been good. My Blues especially are going quite well. So, happy days. Between Leinster, Toulouse and Saracens. Yeah, Sarries have got a pretty big squad, but they're not even top of the premiership at the moment, but they've had kind of guys in and out the squad through the whole season. Jack reckons Tars by 3. David says Canes by 7. How good was Bodie? Blues legend, bro. He was on fire. Perofeta was on fire. Even old Roger Tuivasa-Sheck was doing all right, wasn't he? So, yeah, happy days. Reed and Victoria are both going up the Canes. Frankie says, what do you reckon about the Kiwi teams this week? They're going pretty good. Kiwi teams are going pretty good. It's been a few pretty lopsided results, hey? So the Tars really need to fly the flag for Australia this week. They need to get a win. Northbourne's got the Canes by 8. I'm sure Victoria would have picked the Canes as well. Kian says, hello, mate. We're still a few minutes away from kickoff by the look of things, as the guys kind of meander their way out to the pitch. Blues are playing some good rugby. Bro, they were on absolute fire earlier. The way they came out in that second half, that's as clinical kind of 10 minutes or whatever as I've seen in quite some time. So, yeah. Blind Man, pepper spray. Waratahs will make the Aussies continue to not get fully blown out by New Zealand teams. Fingers crossed, man. Look at that crowd. These guys need something to cheer about. So let's see if they can put on a show. But then Victoria and the other Canes fans will be hoping for an away win. So we will see. And Malcolm reminds everyone to hit the thumbs up, which seems like a small thing. But the YouTube algorithm does need feeding. So if you wouldn't mind, I would be in your debt if you could do that for me. I'm not a guy to usually ask for that kind of stuff, but when people remind me about it, yes, indeed, it is necessary. Oh, how was the Ripper Rugby, Hollywood, for my son? My son's team played this morning, New Zealand time. They did much better than their first game. If you guys missed out the last live stream where I talked about my son's team, in their first game, they got an absolute walloping. Like the first half, I think, was like 12-1 or 9-1 or something stupid. Because they're just doing 1 point for a try kind of thing. But this game was genuinely tit for tat in the first half. Try. So a much more evenly matched team. My son ended up getting on the scoreboard. He picked up a loose ball, did his run for the corner, and this time he actually managed to make it, so good on him. He didn't have as much going in the second half. Yeah, I think he was getting a bit distracted, so I need to get him focused in, and his team generally didn't do as well in the second half. You know, it was kind of ominous when our side starts the second half. So first half they played this way. Second half, they need to play that way. But at the start of the second half, they get the ball and just go back the way they had gone in the first half. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, kids. Anyway, so my kids lost. My kids' team lost, but it was a better game than last week. So anyway, this game's underway. I'm at 10 seconds on the clock. Bloody good crowd at Leichhardt. Let's hope we get a game to match. I think it's about 15 minutes each half. Maybe it's 10. Probably 10 minutes each half, I think. Maybe it's 15. I'm not sure. I didn't count. A lot of the time is spent shepherding or herding the kids into the right place, to be honest, because the kids get pretty confused. Way to go, little 2 cents. Yeah, he did all right. He got a couple of rips, but he missed a few rips as well. I find he still doesn't like to run. He likes to kind of canter. I need to get him to run. He's a bit lazy. Geordie in the 12 jersey for the ABs. Well, we'll see how he goes tonight. He needs to put in some shots. He's loved 12 for years. He's been talking about the 12 jersey since like 2019. Since Laumape was still in New Zealand, he's talking about playing 12. He couldn't even play 12 for the Canes. So, yeah. Tarzago with 9 phases early. Happy days. Whoa, what a big tackle that was. Goodness gracious me. That was airborne. Played my first tournament last Wednesday. Got smashed 2 teams. We smashed 2 teams and got smashed twice. Okay. No even games then. Go for Kitty. Man, the Tars are back for a penalty. What do they do here? For the 3. Get on the board early. As much as it pains me to say, I hope the Tars can do it. Restore some Aussie pride, Jules. As a Force fan, I'm sure that's pretty tough. Goodness me, that shot by Jamie Booth and then Almua. Bloody hell. That's a bizarre tackle, that one. Up the mighty Blues. Nice food, bro. How good were they, man? They were so good. They were such a pleasure to watch tonight. Go for the try. It looks like they're going to go for the sticks. Yeah, bloody hell, what a tackle. They're replaying it a few times. Edmund's pretty much got this one straight out in front. 30 odd meters. He should nail this, really. Come on, Edmund. Nice. 3 points on the board. The Blues train continues, Jules. I don't know what to say. I still keep waiting for it all to go to absolute custard. But, yeah, they're still going all right. I don't know what to think. But, yeah, they're going pretty good. So, happy times in Auckland and Northland. Man, how good. I can't get over that crowd. It just looks so good. This is the size stadium that you need to play with in Super Rugby. They reckon the Blues almost had 20,000 people at their game, which is pretty good, but it still looked pretty empty. Because if you got 20,000 people there, you've still got 30,000 empty seats. Oh my goodness, here goes Parise. Tars are on fire. What are you loving about this, Victoria? Just the speed of the game? It's very quick. Bloody hell. Parise takes another carry, gets over the advantage line. Probably didn't need to let that one go, but anyway. Can the Waratahs keep this pace up for 80 minutes, folks, or are they just... I don't know. I don't know. Cracking start, anyway. Sarcasm. Oh, fair enough. I want a Leinster La Rochelle final. We wanted that last year, though, right? And didn't end up getting it. Obviously, La Rochelle got to the final. TJ, I think, is on All Blacks rest. Believe it or not, man. TJ's on All Blacks rest. Pat, sad about the Reds game. Hopefully the Tars will do better. Well, the Tars have started well, Pat, mate. I mean, I was pretty chuffed with the Blues game because my Blues were absolutely on fire. I think they would have given most teams a pretty hard time the way they played in periods. But, yeah, pretty tough for the Reds. Would like to see the Blues play at North Harbour or Northland. Northland especially. Like, I've been to see the Blues play at North Harbour as of... What year would it have been? 2019? Played the Sunwolves. TJ ain't even going to be in the All Blacks. I know, but he's still got the rest, eh? Or anyone but Toulouse for a Champions Cup. What's wrong with Toulouse, Victoria? As someone who's living in France. Blues had nothing to worry about, Dime. bro. You were right. Good call. The Blues bossed most of that game. Who's the Leinster version of Super Rugby Pacific? Probably the Crusaders, mate. They tend to win most years. They tend to be pretty dominant. They tend to be pretty hard to beat at home. They've been slightly off the boil this season by dropping 3 games. But since losing their last one a few weeks ago, they've put in 2 big shifts and blown teams off the park. So, yeah. They are the Crusaders of French rugby to lose. Okay. Oh, that kick was just too big for me, man. Bit of Southwest rivalry as well. I got to admit, Victoria, I'm not that fantastic with the old French geography in immediately knowing where teams are based. Like, I could find Paris on a map, and I could probably find Normandy, Calais, probably one of the ones at the bottom. But yeah, I'm certainly better with where the Premiership clubs and the URC clubs and stuff are located. Although I don't think I'd know where all the Welsh teams are at. Jonathan, mate, I am going good. Thank you, bro. I hope you are also going well. You and the fam? We're only 8 minutes and 35 seconds into this one, but the Waratahs, despite the 3-0 lead, have had pretty much all the ball and pretty much all the territory. The Hurricanes are doing well to only be 3 points down. Toulouse is south. I know most of the clubs in France are in the south. I know Racing and Stade Francais are up in the Paris area. The Racing technically not part of Paris, apparently. I know Ampo, like up in the mountains. But yeah, a lot of them I'm not that flash. Can we expect another North versus South game? I don't think so, Frankie. I don't think it's on the cards. I think that was just during COVID to get another money spinner on for New Zealand rugby. La Rochelle, Bordeaux, Biarritz, Bayonne, Toulouse, Pau, all Southwest teams. Toulouse is pushing for West, but they say chocolatine. Does that mean like their accent is kind of Western? Johan, mate, bro, how's it going? Joseph, if a don't argue ends up with someone on their ass, what do you call the Blues for? to the Reds fullback? That was a continuous don't argue. Don't argue and don't talk back. Yeah, that was pretty brutal, wasn't it? I'm surprised he was able to keep his feet as long as he did. Yeah. Blues are amazing. Yes, they're an easy team to watch. I got to admit. Southwest, we all say chocolatine instead of pain au chocolat. It's a national debate, right? So it's not so much an accent as a vocabulary thing. There we go. Well, the Tars have at last converted pretty much a solid 11 minutes of pressure into a try. This time they're back there. They back their pack with the scrum instead of going for the 3. 2 passes. Edmed from Gordon and then Gordon to Pete. Not Gordon. Edmed to Peach. And then a team that can stop the Blues winning this comp is the Saints. Well, we'll see how the Brumbies go next week over in Canberra. TMO wants to have a look at this one. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Jake Gordon's kicked it back into the scrum. Oh no. Wow. That's a technicality as far as technicalities go, but yeah, that's on the number 8 for not keeping the ball in, to be fair. Bloody hell. Who is this Waratahs coach, Australian Coach of the Year? His name's Darren Coleman. And last year, he was actually over in America. And he took the LA Guillotines, which, yes, is a team named after a cocktail. Their logo is literally like a martini glass. He took them in their inaugural year to the MLR Championship, albeit with some pretty big gun Australian players. They must have had some money because they had probably more kind of experienced like Super Rugby guys than some of the other teams. But yeah, they did really well for a new team. Like as much as, what's his face? Ben Darwin likes his cohesion. That was a new team and they went and won the title. So he did alright. And then he got poached by the Tars and he's doing pretty good. April Tui, kia ora, how are you going? This game thus far is all Waratahs, but they've still only got 3 points to show for it. What makes the Crusaders so successful, Jules? One part of it is maybe one thing that's similar with Leinster is I believe the Crusaders have a very good academy. So speaking about Ben Darwin, who thinks cohesion is kind of everything, they don't tend to sign in many players from other teams. Like, people don't leave other teams to come to the Crusaders, like the way Bodie came to the Blues, you know what I mean? Like, most of the guys, I stand to be corrected, but a lot of the guys anyway, have come through the system at the academy and then maybe through Canterbury or Tasman or whatever. Not necessarily just those teams, but especially the academy, and then they finally make their way into the Crusaders team. So, I mean, Matera's obviously an exception, but yeah. So these guys play with each other a lot at a younger age. And then like Will Jordan couldn't even break through into the Crusaders starting lineup for a couple of years, and he was the business even a couple of years ago. Sounds like I'm talking about Leinster, James. I know, man. It's basically the same thing. So these guys, they know the system and they know the guys around them from earlier than when we see them at Super Rugby level. You know what I mean? So other teams just can't catch up on that kind of, as I had said, cohesion, which is Ben Darwin, who's a former Wallaby, now a stats kind of analyst, performance analytics guy. He reckons cohesion is like the number one stat to decide which team's kind of going to win a game, basically. Look at the Force, Jules. They've signed a lot of guys in, right? They've got guys from the Brumbies and they've got guys from overseas and whatnot. They've got a couple of Kiwis. So the cohesion is the last thing that they're able to build, because you've got guys who've been playing a different way for 5-10 years. Like with the guys like Thrush in their late 30s, yeah, it takes you a long time to tell them to kind of forget what they used to do and do what you tell them to do, you know what I mean? The classic example of that one is when the Highlanders signed Woodcock, Nonu, Brad Thorne. There was someone else they signed as well, and they just stunk. They were terrible because they signed all these big guns and there was no cohesion. Anyway, that's what Ben Dell would probably tell you. Gorgeous day where April 2 is out. You can get out to the garden in a wee bit. Yeah, support your Canes for a little bit, see how things go. They need some support because they haven't had any ball. I'm almost... Should we have a look at the numbers? I want to look at like the stats because it's going to be horrendous reading. Say to sign with someone from outside the 100% kit battle. Yeah, you're right. They do sign a few guys. But I think it's the minority, eh? Not like teams which are built from... not like teams which are basically built from scratch. Bryn Hall, the trader. Well, it's proved to be a pretty successful move for him. No try. Okay. I'm not sure what the ref... anyway. Investing in academy, it takes a long time. That's the thing, Jules. The academies take a long time to kind of pay off. One of those things with the Italians is when who's the Irish guy who was the Italian head coach for a few years? Somebody remind me of his name. I can picture his face. He's kind of got big ears, balding. What's his name? What's his name? Not a real tall guy. Goodness me. Prior to the current prior to Crowley and prior to Smith, he was the coach of the Italians for a few years. Goodness me, what's his name? Mind blank. There we go. The Tars finally bloody score. God, that was hard work, but they did it. O'Shea. What's his first name? Connor? Or am I dreaming? Why doesn't O'Shea ring a bell? Connor O'Shea. Right, it was Connor O'Shea. There we go. Speaking of the whole academy thing, like apparently when he was there, he was investing like mad into the Italian youth system and brought some great youth coach with him. And like, so even though he didn't have a lot of success with the crop of players he had, he invested in the groundwork, and then you only see the result, you know, a few years later. So yeah, you got to have that patience, eh? But people like results now. Results now. Give me the results. Now. So it's hard to tell sports fans. Oh my God. I'm just looking at the stats. Right. We're 19 minutes into this game. Right. Let me read you these stats. Possession, 93-7. Territory, 97-3. Waratahs have made 0 tackles. Hurricanes have made 58. The Hurricanes have had a scrum, and they have kicked the ball 3 times. Oh my word, that is bonkers for 20 minutes in. 20 minutes. 0 run meters. Far out. That is crazy. Oh yeah, I need to update the score. Sorry, I was getting distracted by the stats. Boomfa. There we go. Conosce might have gotten no wins, but he started building Italy's competitive team. Yeah, exactly. It's a pity he ended up leaving that job, because then he might have been able to bear the fruits of some of that work that he'd put in later. You know what I mean? Like, he planted the seeds and someone else gets to reap the harvest. Can't remember his name. Stop drinking and call the game. No way. Not a chance. Me having a memory failure is nothing new. Me commentating a game, like play by play, would be something very new and awkward. Who says the Tars actually suck? Well, man, they've been good this year. Such a turnaround from last year. Darren Coleman's working absolute magic. Right, maybe the Canes have actually woken up. They've actually got some ball and now a penalty. Happy days, Canes. 20 minutes and you guys can start playing. Australia and US as the World Cup hosts. Yeah, Australia's certainly convenient for me, mate. And I think Aussie Rugby could use the financial boost of hosting a World Cup for sure, plus the interest. And America is somewhere new, which I'm genuinely not unhappy about. Although South America is also, they've probably paid more dues in terms of rugby stuff than North America. And South Africa's not had it for a long time. Ireland's never had it. Maybe not a full tournament anyway. Yeah, I can't say I'm unhappy for sure. You got to bid though. Not many people bid. That's the thing. Simon, man, long time no see. How's it going? Are you back in the Tars, Simon? I know it's going to be not your normal team. If you want play-by-play here in the Rock, the Kiwi Lads does really good play-by-play if you're looking for genuine like play-by-play commentary. Yeah. And Forever Sports, but I don't know if he does Super Rugby. But yeah, I tend to talk some rugby, but also random bollocks on these streams. Never back the Tars. Oh, Simon. They need to be the side that flies the flag for Aussie Rugby this weekend. SA was robbed. Yeah, South Africa were the preferred recommended team for 2023, but then ended up going for France. There was some dodgy backroom stuff, as far as I'm aware, that was going on. Taiwan cricket. Grant. Taiwan should bid for the Rugby World Cup. Where are Taiwan in the world rankings, man? But cheers, brother. First one of those for today, man. Appreciate that. Does Taiwan host any kind of big international sporting events? They must do. I just don't follow them. Must be a big stadium in Taipei, right? I don't think you guys would get it though if you bid. It's a shame South Africa won't get it, but realistically, I don't think they could successfully host it again. Pumas versus Western Province last night. Pumas, they lost power due to load shedding. Oh, I saw that on Twitter. The lights just switched off halfway through the game. It's not a good look. But they got nice stadiums in South Africa from the Football World Cup. So, yeah. What's Universidad? I don't actually know what that is. Some universities competition? Right, Hurricanes are still scoreless after 24 minutes and 20 seconds. They just knocked the ball on, but at least they had some ball to knock on, to be honest, because they've not had bugger all this game. If it's sevens, I would have no idea about it. Is Grant talking sevens? Ireland was robbed in 2023, would have been a new place, got shafted. French bribery. I think, yeah, the South Africans were the preferred candidate. Ireland was knocked out in the first round, right? And then it was France against South Africa, and it went to France. Load shedding, that's the point. I'm from South Africa, and honestly, I'd never go back. Country is going back. University games, fair enough. I figured it must be something like that. Surely they wouldn't do load shedding on World Cup events if they had the comp, right? And actually, I don't know if they do it anymore, probably not, but when I first lived in China in 20, I want to say 20, God, much earlier than that, 2005, they also did a kind of load shedding when I was in a small town, not in a big city. I was living in a small town, and because I was living on the school campus, I don't know if it was the whole city or just my area of the campus, and the school was trying to save money. But like during the day when I was supposed to be in class, they would just turn the power off in my apartment. So yeah, it was like the whole, I assume it was the whole grid, but I don't actually know. It wasn't regular, so I feel like it was kind of like load shedding. IRB ranking number 65. Is that? I think that's ahead of the mainland though, right? Yeah, these scrums are killing the Hurricanes. The Tars are all over them. Rugby World Cup in Ibiza. You need to have a 60,000 seater stadium, I think. First 8 months of COVID in South Africa was remembered as the longest time of uninterrupted power for 20 years. Is that because businesses were shut down and they weren't using the power? Man, Parise is a tank. He's got to be the Wallabies 13, eh? He's got that X factor that they are missing with Karevi in Japan. I know he's more of a 13 than a 12, but still. Just having a big bloody lump of a man like that who can offload, something else. Might be time to give some of the big boys on the bench a go. Can't keep giving away these scrum penalties. The coaches have got to make a call at some point because it couldn't be a lot worse. What have you got to lose, eh? There was just no load shedding. It was weird, Frankie. Is that because... But there must be because other people weren't using the power, right? So the grid had enough power to supply, I guess. Where do I get one of these hats? I had it printed off AliExpress, eh? It's like a $4 hat. Maybe a $5 hat. Yeah, I just had it printed. A lot of my hats are actually just prints. They look alright on camera, but you probably wouldn't want to wear them all the time. They wouldn't last. Hey, Randy. Thank goodness you're here, man. We haven't had any bots, but you're the only mod. They must have knew you were coming. Oh, bro. The Canes cannot catch a break. Line out, not straight. As if they don't... As if they need more stuff to go wrong. Far out. Oh. Do you think the Aussies have a problem with Kiwi coaches? Force struggled with John Mitchell. Wallaby struggled with Robbie Deans. Robbie Deans' record is actually looking kind of not that bad in hindsight, eh? But they played some bloody ugly rugby. I seem to remember that. And Randy the Blues were on absolute fire. I do wish the Aussies would have more Aussie coaches, though. That is for sure. Dan McKellar, Brad Thorne. Although Brad Thorne's kind of a bit of a 50-50, isn't he? And Capuozzo signed with Toulouse. I saw that, mate. Yep. I think that's been rumoured for a while, but they finally got it across the dotted line. Waratahs are playing really well, James. Yeah. And look at the scrum. It's just like a free penalty every single time. I think it was Mitchell that said they need to get rid of the props. Surely. You can't keep doing this. That's freaking Ta'avao. Aomua. That's like 2 All Blacks in that front row. Here goes Holloway. What a wide ball. Oh my goodness. Holloway with those hands. Peach is going. What a peach. Dave Rennie's record is excellent if you take away the All Blacks losses. Yeah, I think that's where Deans' record is actually not bad. I think he was alright against the All Blacks. But I could be mistaken. Households used more working from home. Main factories were shut down. Yeah, I guess that would make sense as we talk more load shedding. They have to be able to build more power plants, though, surely. Again, I was talking about living in China when my power would go off at time to time, but that's 2005. That's a long time ago now. We're talking almost 20 years. And since then, they've built so many power plants, although most of them are coal, which is not great for the environment, but yeah, power capacity's increased a ton. Robert Deans' record was actually decent. Yeah, he got a lot of stick though, and to be fair, I remember there was one period where they hadn't scored like a set piece try for I forget how many games, but it was loads. Their try scoring run for a while was really low, although they were kind of a hard team to beat. But yeah, they were playing some ugly stuff for a while. Dan McKellar or Mr. Save the Waratahs as the future Wallabies coach. Well, Dan McKellar's the man being groomed, isn't he? Because he's off to the Wallabies assistants role, one of the assistants role, at the end of this season. So he would seem to be the next cab off the rank, and the Brumbies are still doing well. Is Hussein playing, Jonathan? I can't even remember. The Canes have had such little ball. Let me have a look. Nah, it's Savia, Julian, and Mariasi are the wingers. Wallabies have good records against most teams, but not the All Blacks. Yeah, Frankie, and I think that's why New Zealand Rugby and the Wallabies have decided to, Aussie Rugby have decided to reduce the amount they play. They're not going to play as many games because they were just getting too frequent. Like, it's, you know, part of the special thing about like the Six Nations and whatnot is they only play each other once in a bloody year. You know what I mean? And when we were playing the Wallabies like 3 or 4 times, it's just too much. Especially if the All Blacks win usually 3 or 4 of them or whatever, you know, they win the majority. It gets a bit old. Wallabies' biggest problem stats-wise play the All Blacks too many times. Simon, agree. Yeah, 2 times is probably enough every year. Dean's won the Tri-Nations. The Aussies did win the Rugby Championship in 2015. Shortened version. Frankie just said Chicken won it in 2015. There we go. $33 minutes and 20 seconds in. And the Tars are still going strong. Less is more. We wait 12 years for the Lions tour. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of absence that makes the what is it? The heart grow fonder. Same with rugby, right? If you only get to play once or twice, it kind of makes it way more meaningful than if it's just all the time. It gets a bit old. Oh, there we go. The front row has been substituted. Well, the 2 props have been substituted. 33 minutes. They had to do that. They had to do something. Every scrum was just getting destroyed. All Blacks and Wallabies played each other 7 times in the past 2 years. Too much, bro. It should be 4 at most. 7 is ridiculous. Should have postponed Scotland's tour to New Zealand. Scotland haven't been to New Zealand for, it must be 20 years. Since the last time we've had Scotland and New Zealand, we've had France tour at least 3 times. Maybe 4. I think it's just a money thing. France never even bring their best guys. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Canes are looking better. Yeah, they're certainly looking better than the first 20 minutes when they just weren't even in the game. We need a knockout cup between the URC and the Super Rugby top 8. Here goes Parisa. When do you fit it in the calendar, though, is the question. Oh, Peach is going to get that try. He was denied one earlier with the TMO. But, man, yeah, Parisa is the guy. Parisa is absolutely the guy, isn't he? Gordon. Vosiatho with the wide ball. Gamble. Parise out wide. Bonfire through 2 tacklers and then somehow he gets the offload away. Unbelievable. Crazy. That's a great try. Man, these Tars are playing well. Nah, he got that ball down. He got that ball down. Hollywood's off to bed. All right, mate. Take it easy. We haven't played Scotland over here in 22 years. I knew it was something like that, Shane. I knew off the top of my head it was something like that. And we haven't played them at all in 5 years. And the last game we played against them was a cracker. That was the game that they could have won. I don't know. Crazy. That kick is a stinker from mid, so it is 15 points to 0. And yes, you can't count out the Hurricanes yet. They certainly blitzed my Blues in that first game of the season that they played each other, so yeah. Expect the Tars to be tired late like the Crusaders game. It could be close. Yeah, maybe that's the thing about Darren Coleman's side is they play, get a big old lead, and then just try to have to hold on. But the fact that the Canes already had to take 2 of their props off should even that up a little bit. Uchi is getting ready for the semi-final later. Leinster and Toulouse. Good man. That's on at 2 in the morning my time, so I will be slumbering. Why were the props off early, Jack? Because they were getting destroyed by the Waratahs. Every scrum was a Waratahs penalty. They were getting absolutely monstered. So Numia and Ta'avao got subbed on 33 minutes. Because yeah, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. Charlie Gamble. I'm not sure how long his contract is with the Tars. Simon, not sure. But yeah, he played I think 6 when Hooper came back from injury. So Coleman seems to be keen to give him a bit of game time because he's been playing well. And look at that mustache. Why wouldn't you? Lomax. Who did I say? Did I say Ta'avao? Bloody hell. Ta'avao doesn't even play for the Hurricanes. Lomax. Tyrell Lomax, and Numia. Tars looking good. Hope the Reds are watching. Yeah. We will see how things come out in the second half, I guess. Tars are definitely enjoying the scrum, Sammy, for sure. 1 minute to go. And yet Foster picks Lomax for the ABs. I've been critical of that for a while, but then I also balance that by the fact that I used to think Tuangafasi sucked. And he came alright, so... Me and Gazza used to watch Tuangafasi when he was still playing in club rugby, and we were like, geez, this guy's not ready for Super Rugby. So there you go. Gamble came from Shoot Shield. His first contract for the season should be... Okay, well, hopefully he's going to get somebody to give him a big contract. I'm not sure if he's eligible for the Wallabies because he's a Kiwi. I don't know how long he's been in Australia. Oh my goodness. The Kane scrum actually went better. Must be Frank's, like someone, who was that just said? Frankie? Yeah. Want to see you hate on a few more players. It's too nice. I don't know, man. I always find it hard to hate on players too much, because honestly, even the guys who don't look good at this level are still pretty freaking amazing athletes. Who's that guy, man? I'm forgetting another name. I'm going to get told off again. Who's that big halfback who played for the Blues a couple of years ago? Not Sam Nock, the other guy. He was pretty tall for a halfback. He's not a Kiwi anymore. He's an Aussie. Is he eligible though? Like, how long has he been in Australia? Like, genuinely asking. Hate shows passion for the game. It's hard to hate any of the teams when I watch them all. When I used to only watch the Blues, it was kind of easier to hate on other teams. Ruru. Yeah, Jonathan Ruru, nice for takeaways. That guy, genuinely, at Super Rugby level, didn't look that good. Right? He had the odd good game, but he wasn't that flash. Right? But I saw him play at club rugby, and he's a halfback, a scrum half. And excuse my language, but he was like fucking Superman. He was demolishing guys at club rugby. And some of these club rugby guys were pretty fucking big guys. And he was just destroying them. So even if I sit here and go, man, that fucking sucks, that guy. Like, bro, he's still pretty good. Know what I mean? Like, you don't get to even suck at this level unless you're pretty good. Oh, Geordie Barrett hit the post, and somehow the Canes have got the ball back. Geordie missed a sitter. He did. Super Rugby is still a good skill level. Bro, it's an amazing skill level. If you can get to Super Rugby level, you're pretty much the elite without being at that one level above. Like, even to get into your school's first 15 is like hard enough. To play for your senior club team or to get into an academy is pretty hard. To get into like a Curry Cup or a Mitre 10 team is pretty hard. To get from there to Super Rugby, you've got to be fucking good at rugby to get that level. Nobody makes it by accident. So yeah. It is half time. And it is 15-0. So yeah, I do find it funny when people come into the comments and they're like, bro, that guy sucks. And I mean, maybe in contrast, like, you shouldn't be comparing rugby players to yourself. Like, maybe compared to, I don't know, like Will Jordan, some other guys suck. But I don't know. I feel like it's a bit harsh. Charlie Gamble, 26, born in Canterbury. Yeah, he hasn't been in Australia since he was like 21, right? Or 22. I feel like he hasn't been over in Australia that long, but I could be mistaken. I don't think he's eligible yet, but as I said, I could definitely be mistaken. Someone asked for the trivia, and I do have trivia from the old beer bottle. It is a movie-related question. So, yeah, take a guess. For some of you younger guys, you may not know the answer to this one, but if any of you guys are my age or a bit older, then this one should be right up your alley. So, yeah, it says, who starred? So, who's the star? Who starred in National Lampoon's Vacation? I thought it was Family Vacation. It just says National Lampoon's Vacation. Who starred in National Lampoon's Vacation? Chevy Chase. Taiwan Cricket. And Simon, you're showing your age with the speed on that answer, but yes, you are absolutely correct. Yeah. Well done, boys. I think he's gone a bit funny, hasn't he? In his older years. I don't know. I haven't seen him in any movies for a long time. But yeah, there we go. What position does my son play, Xavier? He plays, I mentioned it last time, the team they play in is still pretty junior, so they don't really have set positions yet. He just runs along, basically. He's always been funny. Yeah, I liked all the National Lampoon's movies, I seem to remember. And wasn't he in, what's the golf one with Bill Murray? He was in that one, right? Caddyshack? He was in Caddyshack, wasn't he? Right. I'm going to check these halftime stats. I feel like they're going to make better reading for the whole game. Shane, now the team didn't end up having to go to Waiheke. They changed the draw. For week 1 and on the schedule for week 2, they just had all the teams in one big draw. But then on the Monday after the weekend of games, they did the sensible thing and put all the West Auckland teams in one draw. They put all the Central teams in one draw. And then they put South and East into one draw, which includes Waiheke. So we're in West. So we don't have to go to Waiheke. We had to go to Waitemata today on Swanson Road. So that was 10 minutes drive. So pretty easy. Happy days. Much happier than having to get on a ferry, pay $80 for a family, and then go to Waiheke. So that was, yeah. Run meters at half time is 336 to 157. Possession is 64-36, and so is the territory. So, yeah, it's very much the Waratahs game at the moment. Penalties conceded is 3-7, with I would imagine the majority of those come in at scrum time. We can probably find out if we check the discipline for the players. Who was the guy giving away all the penalties? Numia 1, Almua 2, and Lomax 1, apparently. So, there you go. Michael Jones's club, there you go. He wasn't there. I didn't see him. But yeah. Right, I'm just going to go grab another beverage. And I will be back in a tick. Probably with some more trivia. Trying to trip over anything. Cords on the floor. Do you remember the last time the All Blacks lost to the Box in New Zealand? I was watching the game 2018 in a restaurant and you roared your voice away at the end of the game. Makes sense. Yep, that game was that's the one where Deante scored a try. And the All Blacks had so much possession and territory. And it didn't matter for nothing. Right. I do have one more bottle cap that I've just opened. So let's go with this one. What is this about? If I can read it. Okay. It is a geography question this time. It's New Zealand related. That can't be right. I'll need to look at a map to confirm, but it doesn't seem right. But anyway, the question is, What is New Zealand's most western city? When I think of this city, I don't think west. But anyway, that's what the bottle cap says. No, those things are never wrong, surely. Last time New Zealand lost at home was to France in 2009. We also lost to the Lions, and we lost to South Africa. Oh, home to France. Okay, 2009. Yeah, makes sense. Bondi. Don't think that quite counts as New Zealand. Ah, Distracted Sports got it. How did you get that? How did you know it was Invercargill? Invercargill. And Victoria knew it was Invercargill as well. How is it Invercargill? Is because of the South Island kind of sticks out more? Okay, I just think of it as south, not necessarily west. Knowledge bar, apparently. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. I defer to your geographical knowledge. I wouldn't have got that one if you'd given me kind of 10 guesses. Then again, how many actual cities does New Zealand have? I don't know. I remember going to Watapere and being big on the place where the sun sets last. Fair enough. Also sausages. Okay, fair enough. JP, it's still half time at the minute. It's still half time. Since when is Bondi a New Zealand city? I guess a lot of expats is the point. A lot of Kiwis over in Australia. Keen for a collab. I haven't done a collab in ages. Interestingly, I've done a collab with how many people? G-Man. I've done collab with what's his name? Rugby Analyst. I've done a collab with the Yellow Cap, and I've done a collab with Unbiased Rugby, and two of those guys have since died. So they've got a bad track record. Been to Brisbane. It's basically Auckland over here. Yeah. Kiwis like the warm weather. What can I say? I think that's true. How'd the other fellas pass? Yellow Cap got COVID and he died. But to be fair, he had a lot of like transplants, I think, in his life. Like his mum had to donate some organ. So he was a pretty kind of sickly guy. I think he was in his late 40s, maybe early 40s. I'm not sure. He was in his 40s. So kind of already high risk. And then G-Man had a heart attack. So, yeah, pretty messed up. Pretty messed up. Neither guy was, like 50 or over. They were both 40s, and I think G-Man was like 30. So, yeah, pretty young in the scheme of things. So, yeah. A lot of expat Kiwis in Perth. Yeah, I know. They went for the mining, especially, eh? R.I.P. to both. Indeed. Both South Africans, actually, yeah. Yeah. I'll have to check on Unbiased Rugby. He doesn't do content anymore, but I'll have to check on him. Lots of money in Perth, I believe it. Just look at Andrew Forrest. Man. Maybe Bondi way back in the day, but these days more likely to be Brisbane. Yeah, I guess that's probably true. I haven't been to Australia. I haven't been to Queensland since I was... Holy moly. I haven't been to Queensland since 1990... I want to say 1993. I think that's the last time I was in Queensland. I went to Movie World. Yeah, that's about it. All I can remember. They had the Batman show, because one of the Michael Keaton Batman movies had come out. They had the Police Academy car show. What else did they have? What else is going to show my age? What were the other big movies they had at Movie World that they were doing kind of shows for? Alright, Simon, bro. Take care. Take care, man. What else did I see at Movie World? I don't know. I can't remember. 93, you weren't even born, crazy, bro. Don't go reminding me about that kind of stuff. 93, I was like, what, 10? Yeah. I haven't been back since, I've only been to Melbourne and Sydney. Yeah, I've never been back to Queensland. What happened to the 1014? I honestly don't know. I did send the 1014 guys a message during the pandemic, like when it was fully, like the whole country was locked down, and they said they were still working on stuff in the background, but it was kind of hindered by the fact that there was no sports on at the time. You know, everything was shut up. So, yeah. No, the game isn't over, CH. We are just about to start the second half. There's no game action on at the moment. It's 40 minutes 0-0 on my clock. So I'm probably behind some of you guys on the old stream. But yeah, I will just double check. Fast forward. Yeah, my game hasn't started yet. I'll let you know. I know, Police Academy, right? Second half's just kicked off for mine. Dane Coles apparently has replaced Almua at the break, so it's an all-new Canes front row. Right, 15-point lead. Miss watching Lord Takiri riff it up for the Tars. Bro, that's proper old school, that one. He was really good, I think, in Rugby 08. Takiri. Right, good sharp start for the Canes in the second half. They've looked more dangerous in the last 51 seconds than they have maybe in the whole first half. Mafaleo with a big carry. Still got advantage. Can the Tars defense hold them out? What a sneaky pass, but they still meter out. Rayasi denied. Almore was doing alright. Yeah. Maybe he's injured. He gets injured that much. There we go. Try time. That only took 1 minute and 44 seconds. Maybe this is what we were kind of waiting on. Good start to the second half. Much better than the entire first half, isn't it? That was some proper intensity. The Kane scored. I think it was Mafaleo who went over. The big replacement prop. Yep, there it is. Thank goodness. Yeah, there we go. Kane's better than Tars confirmed. We'll see. They're not far from making a comeback. Hey, Tars, for all the possession and territory and whatnot in that first half, only managed to accrue 15 points, which in all likelihood is probably not enough. 15-7. Still a two-score game. Bullfire, there you go. Run down to the first half, man, it was largely dominated by the Waratahs. Their scrum was just destroying the Canes, getting pretty much penalties every single time. Tars managed to accrue a couple of tries. Literally the first 20 minutes, the Hurricanes hadn't had a single run. I've almost never seen anything quite like it. Literally 20 minutes, 0 run meters. So, yeah, they did more of a game of it in the second quarter, but nothing quite like this. Hey. Canes pinged at the breakdown. Momentum gone. Tars don't really have enough points. For all their dominance in the first half, 15 points was a pretty poor return. I will agree with that. Canes forward pack the weak link. Canes have always had good backs, eh? 2-match Bledisloe, Lockie. I reckon it's a good idea. Yeah, New Zealand and Australia play each other way too much as it is. 2 matches suits me right down to the ground. Charlie Campbell. Paricki's just dropped it. And he says the standard thing that every player who's just dropped a ball says when he does that. He drops an F-bomb. Third one is normally a dead rubber anyways. Agree. Difference from the first half. Yeah. Well, you noticed that in the game where the Crusaders played really well in their second half after a pretty atrocious first half against the Tars. Tried to chase the game down, but couldn't quite get it done. Can anyone tell me why they get such good crowds at Leichhardt, or is it just so small that any kind of crowd just looks full? Because that crowd still looks great. Resetting that scrum. Canes have been a second half team all year. Yeah, don't remind me. A bit of both. Okay. Well, it looks good either way. I certainly won't have as many people as at the Blues game earlier, but it looks a lot better than what were at the Blues game. A bit around the hype for this game. They don't get NRL games anymore, really. Oh, Kane, second scrum penalty. There we go. Franks, what a difference maker. Carifi and Angus Bell having a bit of how's your father? Gonna go to the Blues quarterfinal at Eden, Josh. I think I have to. Yeah. Like, apart from Trans-Tasman, when did the Blues ever get a qualifier, like a playoff match at home? Not for a long time. Oh, man, Peach looks like he's kind of like Ben Smith. He looks like he should be an accountant, but he's bloody elusive, isn't he? Time, James, we are at 48:17. At least on mine. I'm kind of behind everybody else. And that F-bomb was picked up on the camera and the microphone. Something for the walk-in channel if you go. Yeah, although it's harder at night time. Night footage kind of sucks. I need to take a big camera to do night footage, and they don't let you take big cameras. When I say big camera, I just mean, you know, like this. It's not that big, but if you take that to a ground, they're always like, no. So, anyway. But I'll see. Nighttime's harder to get video anyway. Thoughts on the Drua and Moana Pacifica? Yeah, I think the Drua are pretty good value for their win. They did more with their ball than what the Moana guys did. So, yeah, the Moana guys will be a bit disappointed. Tars are rattled, but they've won a turnover. Or it's either that or just the old Canes making a mistake at the breakdown. Oh my God, what are the Tars doing? Quick tap and then a knock on. Goodness gracious, that's awful. Why would you not just kick for touch? Why? Why? Is it hard to focus on a game, respond to comments, and take notes? It just means I missed some of the game, but I don't mind. Rugby's got enough stoppages that you can kind of usually catch up. I don't mind it. Oh, man. That's a stinker, that moment. What's your prediction for Leinster? I reckon Leinster will win. I know Toulouse is a bang inside, but Leinster at home, I think they're going to be too good. I reckon they'll get a 5th star this year, but who knows? The final's in France, so they're going to be playing a French team. Been a few high shots. Another example of rugby's refs' lack of consistency. Hopefully the game continue. But when they do call it out, it's always a big shift in momentum. I guess consistency is the one we want. Drew were tremendous, and it's pretty much the first time I've seen them play with a full back line all settled in. Despite the handling errors, they did have some of their big guns firing in that game, right? Habosi, Vota, Ravovo, and even Teddy Teller just pulling the strings, right? Yeah. If Leinster win, I'll be going to the game. Will you be able to get tickets? Oh, another scrum advantage. Scrum has totally changed since they changed the front row. Now the Waratahs might need to think about making some changes, although they've got Faulkner on the bench and somebody else. Faulkner's not a huge scrummager. So far the halves are opposite. Maybe the pitch is tilted, man. So one side's playing uphill. It's bizarre. Opinion on the tackle on Zebo. What happened to Zebo? That must be last week. That's Munster Toulouse. Was that a tip tackle? I've watched a lot of rugby since then. Oh, Kane's got another penalty. Oh man, I need to check the odds. This seems like a good time to put money on the frickin'... My phone's over there. Seems like a good time to put money on the Canes. What are they paying at the moment? What are the Canes paying? Geordie get a haircut. Yeah, that's a pretty bad do. They got the wide shot right now and I can still see that haircut. It's pretty awful. Would I take Jameson, Gibson, Park, and James Lowe at the Blues? Not right now, but only because the Blues are humming. I don't want to touch anything. I feel like if you touch something, you might break it. You know what I mean? Like if it's perfect, just leave it. Not perfect, but you know what I mean. The Blues are absolutely humming right now. I don't want to change a thing. If you'd asked me at the start of the season, I would have given you a different answer. Tars have got to get a warning here, surely. What do I think about this North versus South tournament? World Rugby want to do? I'll believe it when I see it. How many times have we heard the rumours? Alright, Canes are going to opt for the 3. It's going to make it a one-score game, so kind of makes sense. There goes the warning, indeed. Hardy should be in the refs there, absolutely. Grant wants Geordie to go to the barber, and I don't blame you, Grant. That's pretty horrible. Richie did. Richie Mo'unga's haircut is much improved. Yeah, why would they leave Leinster exactly? Probably getting paid more than the Blues guys as well, to be fair. Pendulum swung the Canes away. It's honestly crazy how it's so much a kind of carbon copy of the first half, but just, yeah, it's the team running right to left that's dominant. Waratahs haven't had any ball. Gibson Park wasn't a noted player in New Zealand time. Absolutely, he was kind of he was like an Ehire West, right? He was like, he's okay. He's not test match material, that's for sure. And then he goes to Ireland and they unlock his potential. So it happens. It happens. It happened with Faf de Klerk when he went. He became a better player after he left the Lions. Difference being he was able to take that experience and bring it back to South Africa. Right, Tars have actually got some ball in the Hurricanes half, in the second half. This is pretty much a first, isn't it? Be surprised if they're able to pull off the Nations Cup since trying again to get into the busy calendar. Yeah, the rumours are that it's apparently been agreed in principle, blah de blah, but as I said, we've heard this kind of stuff before, and it tends not to want to happen. Tars have knocked it on, but back for an advantage. Maybe the Tars kick this one to take it back to the 2-score game, or do they just take this chance? Nah, they'll take the kick, surely. Offa Tuangafussy also saw the light and cut his hair. Look at Dylan Peach. He's got like an ultimate kind of boring haircut. Yeah. I'm all for the boring haircuts. Tars actually look tired. They do seem to do the whole kind of super high intensity thing in the first half, eh? Same thing with the Tars. I'd be interested to see their first versus second half record as well. England used to do that, remember? England used to come out of the blocks firing and then just try to kind of build up a lead. Caleb Clark should look into it. Yeah. The Crusaders guys have certainly all been to the barber in recent times, which is not a bad thing. Edmed has shanked that one to the side. That was a very easy kick. Very easy kick. I mean, Geordie missed one as well, so they've both missed a kind of easy one. Mr. Distracted Sports, cheers, bro. Appreciate that. What the hell is that? Like a flying blobby thingy. Anyway, cheers, man. Never seen that one before. Thank you, mate. I would say I would take that $10 and take it to the barber, but I don't go to the barber. Going to the barber regularly is probably just part of the contract you sign when you join the Crusaders Academy. Right, Frankie says to look up. What's going on? Uh-oh. Aiden Morgan. Savia. Sullivan. Over. Tars just paid the price for that missed kick, hey? Man, what a run. Pretty good hands. Sullivan's got gas. No one in Dawase can't stop him. Geordie Barrett just made himself a bit hard to bring down. Gave Morgan that bit of space. Good hands all round. Really well worked try. Really well worked. There you go. Canes are going to win this game. Maybe. Tars are making some substitutes. But yeah, that really was good rugby. Cheers, Shane, man. I hope the weather's good in Singapore. I just always imagine it's hot there. Can the Canes go in front, or is it going to be tied up? He'll get it. No, he won't. 15. 15, 15. Yeah. What a pass from Morgan, and then Savia with the quick thinking. Sullivan backs himself. Pretty good stuff. Donaldson's come on to replace Edmed. Whoa, Julian Savia just put down 2 guys at the same time. That's amazing. Not for the bus, though. Canes by 7. Stand by it, says David. Fair call. I think I picked the Canes as well. I wanted to put money on the Canes about 10 points ago. But my phone's not here. They may have still been favourites at that point anyway. I'm not sure. Oh, Tars have just knocked it on. It's going from bad to worse. Where's Ned Hannigan? Bring on Ned. Show me the Ned. They were favourites, 188 to 172 at the time. $1.72 would still be worth a few bucks. Come on, the Canes. I reckon they're going to do it. They got all the momentum. What's an ARA bus, Stephen? Is that a brand? The Ned still will need to do it for the Tars. Exactly. Bring on Ned Hannigan. The guy who got into the Wallabies ahead of Fergus Lee Warner. Yeah, the Tars are under the pump, man. It's a matter of time. Is Edmed a relation to the Balmain Tigers stalwart Steve Edmed? I have no idea. I haven't even heard of him. Bring on Ned is something no rugby fan has ever said, Grant. Well, this is the first. Bring on Ned Hannigan. 5 metres out, he'll line out steal it for you, but no, they don't even contest. Wow. What happened with that line out? Canes. Come on. That was a golden opportunity, that one, not straight. Unbelievable. That was about as wonky as it goes. Goodness gracious me, that was terrible. Auckland Regional Authority. Old school yellow buses you saw along K Road in your youth. I don't have a memory of that. I remember the bendy buses, but I don't remember that. Apparently Steve Edmed is his dad. There you go. Small world. Right, how's this task scrum going to go? Bit steadier. Tars need a good old exit here. Someone needs to put some boot to ball. Ben Donaldson's got a pretty decent boot. Has he found touch? He has, but good. No, he's just missed it, but Rousey, good hands. The Blues Vandermate, absolutely. He's good. Do they still have bendy buses in Auckland? They haven't had bendy buses in Auckland, Novmum, for, I want to say, maybe 10, 15 years. No, unfortunately, they don't do the bendies anymore. Parise is trying to do this as a one-man show, isn't he? But no good. We do have double deckers, that's true. I think we replaced bendies with double deckers. We've got lots of double deckers. Many, many bus routes have double deckers on them. Is this going to go to extra time? God, I hope not, because I want to go to bed after this. Forgive me. I want to go to bed. In the morning, I want to get up and watch some of the European stuff. Last time when I was an intermediate, yeah. I think I would have been uni. Randy's still back in the Tars. I don't think they're going to do it, man. Especially if Parise goes off. He's looking a bit tender. Droppy for the win. Have we had any drop goals yet in this competition? Maybe he's alright. He's getting back up pretty gingerly. Oh no, he's off. He's off, and he's limping pretty badly. Nah, he's got to be sub, man. He can hardly walk. Hopefully that's just like a dead leg and not anything worse. Bloody hell. He's been having a cracking game. There you go, the Tars chances, you reckon, maybe? Ben Donaldson has just put the Tars back in front. He's a pretty solid goal kicker, if nothing else. Where's my red pen? I don't know how the hell I lose my pens on my own desk. I didn't even go anywhere. Anyway. It is 18-15. It's a big kick and he's nailed it. Yeah, man. Kai, mate. He is good for that kind of thing. Drop goals left Super Rugby Longo with Mornay Stain. Yeah, we don't really see them anymore, mate. It's a pity. I think Vanamate Ben Donaldson was injured, and then Tane Edmed managed to get himself into a bit of form. Will Harrison's still injured, so the coach decided not to just mess with the continuity. So Edmed kept playing. Bendy buses and bendy trams. How does a bendy tram work, Victoria? Ten minutes. What are the odds at the moment? Tars still underdogs, even though they're ahead? I would say so, at least with the New Zealand bookies. Prediction for tomorrow's match, Jules? Yeah, I think the Chiefs may run riot. I think their chance of beating the Chiefs, the Rebels, is pretty slim. Dime, mate. For 2 years of entertainment. Cheers, man. At least I've stopped calling you. What did I used to say? Demetal? Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, cheers, bro. Good to have you along. As always. A little bit of Nagel Kai, yeah, for sure. I think that's just the nature of the game because it's so tight, hey? Border Chamberlain does have a big old boot. If you guys haven't been watching the URC for the Sharks, when he's getting game time, he can drop them from miles out. Coming up 2 years watching started with a Canes win over the Satyrs while you were in MIQ. Cheers for all the streams. No worries. It's always good to have a bit of company during the games. What can I say? I was hoping to have Gazza here this weekend, and he's been around twice, but he's not stayed for any games because he's got an infection in his leg. Right, Waratahs. They win the line-out ball like 7 meters out. What can they do? They can probably win this game if they score a try. Maybe still too early to say that, but it's not been a real high-scoring game. Good defense. They let him go. It's slow ball. Love my reckons the Tars might have it. Where's that ball? It's slow ball. 5 phases, but the Canes have gotten age to set their defensive line. Shame to hear that guys are not ripping the Canes at halftime. I know, right? Yeah. It's his birthday. It's Gaz's birthday next week. And I know he won't be watching this, so I can say this to you guys. But like, he said he wanted like a t-shirt, so we got him a t-shirt. But I was like, no, I need to get him something kind of like at least a bit more memorable, right? So, and if you guys have ever seen my dad on the streams or when he sends his voice messages through, he's always complaining about the freaking refs, right? It's always the first thing he'll send. He'll send like 5 minutes of messages. The first message is not about the game, but it's about the ref. He's just ranting away, right? So there's this website called Swish where you can buy like video messages from like celebrities. So like you can pay Bowden Barrett to send you a message for like $200, or you can pay Aaron Smith to send you a message, like only a short, like a 1 minute message or something for $200 or $300. So on that website, they've got Ben O'Keefe, referee, for $20 Australian, which is the cheapest option you can get. Him and a couple of others at $20. Jackson Garden Bishop's also $20. So I just put a request in today for Ben O'Keefe to send my dad a 1 minute, or I don't know how long, to send my dad a short happy birthday message. And I've asked Ben to give my dad a bit of stick because he always gives referee stick. So hopefully that will be a suitable gift for my dad. Ben O'Keefe on his phone. Because my dad's always on his phone. He'll love it. If it had been more than $20, I don't think I would have bothered. Like I could have done Justin Marshall, but he's like $90, and I was like, nah. Even though I've seen some of Justin Marshall's messages he sent to other people. He does seem to be pretty funny. Yeah, no, I seriously did. I ordered that message from Ben O'Keefe today. So when it's up, you should be able to see it on the website. I'll let you guys know. I'm hoping he says something funny. I've literally told him to give my dad some stick. Right. Kane's time to attack. Here we go. Rayasi. Oh, they've managed to keep him out. Oh, they've got advantage though. Canes have to score here, surely. Try time. Adi Savia. Of course, Adi Savia. Even when he's not having his most prolific game, he still steps up for a try. Important kick, all right. Look at him go. Jumps over. How the heck did he get through there? Dude is amazing. I think that's Faulkner that he's going through. He's going through a prop. Dude's got amazing power. Unbelievable, isn't he? Geordie needs to get this one. He should get that. Two-point lead at the moment. Drop he'll win it, but if he gets this, Waratahs need a try. And nailed that. Too easy. 18 points to 22. I swear Barrett misses. No. Oh, how the hell? The Waratahs win a turnover straight from the kickoff. $15-0 to 18-22. Yeah, the Tars have only had 3 measly points in the second half. What's happening here? TMO call. Geordie. Whoa, was that blood? What happened to Geordie? Still got a terrible haircut. What happens here? He jumps up for the high ball. He doesn't get taken in the air. Oh, maybe he gets a swinging arm from Ryan. Is that Ryan? Nothing in the air. The air's fine. Ooh. April reckons it's a card. Nice Food reckons it's red. Jules reckons it's red. Oh, probably ended this game. Yeah, it's red. Paddy Ryan. Yeah, you can't be that upright, eh? Geordie Barrett's got that blood piddling out of his nose for a reason, I guess. Yeah, the Canes surely can't throw this away. Surely not. Not over yet. You're right, nice food takeaways. It is not over yet. Anything, only one bad pass getting intercepted and the game can be turned on its head, so you never know. Got to do better than that. Yeah, you got to bend, eh? At least a bit more than that. Canes have just chucked the ball into touch. So the Tars will have one last throw of the dice, assuming that's not off a Tars player. What does the ref want to talk to Jake Gordon about now? Okay, Tars do have one more throw of the dice. A minute and a wee bit to go. Right, Jake Gordon gets to beat the traffic. Go off 2 minutes to go, just under. At least the crowd have been treated to a close game, not like some of the other games this weekend. Right, can the Waratahs win their line out? That's question number one. Yes, they can. Can they get out of their own half? Not yet. Oh, they've just turned it over the Canes. That should be game. It's a goal line dropout. That's game, I think, folks. Surely they have to go. Got to go, Waratahs, go. Why the hell was Holloway kicking it? I know they had to move, but bro, don't let Holloway do it. Goodness me. What on earth? Come on, somebody else needed to ask for the ball. Goodness me. That was not their finest moment. Oh my goodness. If you didn't see that, Jed Holloway just tried to take the goal line dropout and then it didn't end up even making it out of his own in-goal area. Bloody hell. Well, that's a bad kick by anybody's standards. Even for a freaking lock, that's a bad kick. That's a Minty's moment, alright, Nog Mum. Brain fart. Absolutely, April Tui. Less than 30 seconds to go. Can the Tars win a scrum penalty? With 15 seconds to go. And of course we're going to reset the bloody thing. Had us in the first half. The Tars lost this game by not capitalising in the first half. 15 points with all that dominance is where they lost today. I mean, credit to the Canes for sure for coming back. Uphill battle, and to these replacement props for sure. They certainly made a huge difference, but man. We're well into the red now. Don't reset it again. Some of us want to go to bed. Ball goes in. Ball comes out. Or does it? Canes want the try. The Canes want the try. There's nothing to gain from it. But there's a knock on. Apart from... Oh, there's an on-field try. Apart from points difference, there's nothing to gain from this, right? They're looking for a knock on. It's messy. That's a knock on, surely. That's another knock on. And I don't even know if he grounded it. The ref's just like, fudge this. I just want to let the TMO have a look at it. Waratahs lose their bonus point. Okay, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I still think they should kick it out. I mean, I know you can take the bonus point away from the Waratahs, but you could also lose the game. One intercept pass. So, just kick it out, man. Yeah, that makes more sense. Bank the 4 points instead of risking taking one off the Tars. Anyway, there we go. Waratahs at least get a deserved bonus point. I think that would have been a bit harsh on them if they hadn't got that, because they were pretty good value for that game. But yeah, there we go. All right, folks. That was a decent watch compared to some of the blowouts we've had early in the day. But yeah. The red card was to Paddy Ryan, CH, for an upright tackle on Geordie Barrett. So yeah, not the best. Not the best. I'm not sure either side will be that happy with that performance, if I'm honest. But there we go. All good, Robin. Cheers for coming along, everybody. Yeah. Nothing much else to say other than we look forward to the Chiefs and the Rebels tomorrow. Plus, if you're into your Northern Hemisphere rugby, there's a big old game between Toulouse and Leinster on tomorrow as well. But it's actually on in about 2 hours. So that's going to be a pretty big one. But I'm going to be certainly sleeping for that one. But anyway, take care, everybody. I will talk to you guys again another time. Take it easy.